There's just this one Pokemon that can do most of the work here on Giovanni's new Shadow Latios team. Now, I hope that the title is really indicative of this, okay? It's like you really have to pay attention to that. The title says the Pokemon's below 1500, which is true, it's 1499, but also does most of the work, so it's not going to do all of the work, alright? So we are going to hit with Bisharp, and then we're going to switch out, and that will be to the star of today's video, which is going to be Hitmonchan, ladies and gentlemen. And this Hitmonchan really does need both attacks if you're going to use it this way. Now, you could still do a lot without both of the charge attacks. You'd probably want to have Power-Up Punch instead of Ice Punch. The thing is that Ice Punch really is going to be the type advantage, whereas Power-Up Punch is going to get us the boost to the stats that we need. So this Persian has Feint Attack right now. You've got to handle that fight very differently if the Persian has Scratch. We talk about this every commentary pretty much, so this has been handled a lot, and guess what? It's going to actually be handled even deeper at the end of this video, because this same exact lineup, like this whole team that I have right here with the Hitmonchan, it can actually be used if the Persian has Scratch as well. You would just handle the fight a little bit differently, and the title would probably be different of the video if we just featured the team going up against Scratch, okay? So, like, Hitmonchan won't do all of the work if the Persian starts out with Scratch, but anyway, what we got here is a Rhyperior in the middle spot. We've already shown Rhyperior off when it has Mud Slap. You can do a little bit of the same with the Hitmonchan right here, like you would just basically attack 3 times and then use your charge attack, okay? So use your fast attack, which is counter, just 1 tap, 2 tap, 3 tap, and then the animation is going to play through. So again, that's whether it's using this attack, which is Smackdown, boom, you see the rock just hit me, but also if the Rhyperior was using Mud Slap, you would do the same thing, 1, 2, 3, and then use a charge attack. And so look at this, Ice Punch is going to do massive amounts of damage. So the one thing that I would say is that if you are ever having trouble against Rhyperior, yes, you want to resist it and all of that, but you do actually want to do Grass or Water, because those 2 elements are actually going to deal doubly the super effective, so like 256% damage instead of 160%, which is just normal. So this Ice Punch, for instance, it did normal super effectiveness, which is still good. You know, there's definitely something to be said for that, but look at how much it did to the Latios, man. And we can actually do another Ice Punch right here as well. And because we have our Power-Up Punch all the way kind of giving us all the buffs, you can do that 4 times. So like after 4 Power-Up Punches, it's not going to actually boost your attack anymore. But that means that our attack has been boosted all those times. And so we could, I think if we didn't dilly-dally right there, I think we actually could have gotten off a Power-Up Punch maybe. Anyway, that's not the point. Look, we could totally easily whoop this thing up. So you could actually use a Muddy Water right here. I'm kind of going really casual right now because I do not want to win this fight, meaning I don't want to KO the Latios. We want to show you that you can win, right? So you would charge up all of those. I didn't charge up a single one, but for instance, you charge up all of those, and then that was like perfect because it even has a chance to debuff the Latios' attack. And so this is also to prove to you guys that, like, look, I'm not even attacking it. Like, we could easily KO it right here just with fast attacks. We don't even need to use the charge move, right? But no, I'm gonna go ahead and surrender so I can save my radar and then show you guys, look what's coming up next. So this will be the exact same team lineup, you know, same moves and everything, but Giovanni's Pokemon, it'll all be the same Pokemon, but instead the Persian has Scratch. And so I know that that's where most people seem to get tripped up in the comment section when they talk to me. It's either the Persian or it's probably the Latios sometimes. At least it was Latios back then when it was Latios. So anyway, here's how we would handle it differently. You know, you'd get those attacks off with Bisharp right at the beginning, and then you want to switch. And one thing I neglected to mention, of course, is that every single time that there's a charge move used, or whenever you switch out, so you could manually switch out, or a Pokemon could faint, the Team Go Rocket side, their Pokemon, so Giovanni in this case with this Persian, it's gonna stand still. Look, it's not attacking me right here. So it stands still for almost 3 seconds. In the charge attacks, it could be the same way, whether you use it or they use it. So again, you could shield it, anything, like as long as there's a charge move being used, Giovanni's Pokemon are gonna stand still. And so this definitely is more of an uphill fight when it has Scratch right here, the Persian I should say, because when it has Feint Attack, you can use most of your fighting types as long as they have some kind of like charge move that can spam out, you know. And this, I should just reiterate, like this is mostly for people who struggle with Team Go Rocket. I don't think you'd be looking up my videos if you didn't struggle. So like, sure, you know, there are some people out there that are gonna use 3,000-4,000 CP Pokemon and just like whoop up, you know, they're gonna use legendaries, whatever. If you have some kind of general type advantage, you're probably gonna win, like in those higher CPs. You notice, of course, all of my Pokemon are below 1,500. Even the Bisharp right there is like well below that, you know, at 1,391. So we know that the Stunfisk is gonna fall right here. We want it to be KO'd because again, we're gonna take advantage of this stun time, right? So we get the Bisharp to attack twice, boom, then we send in the Hitmonchan, and the reason we can send it in now, it would normally be decimated by Scratch. Look at how much Scratch is already doing to it, you know, like this Persian is literally on its last legs, and because we're within this CP amount, and because it's Scratch, like the fight is going a little bit differently, but like I say, this is a winning battle, right? So it was good because we used our first shield, which actually got our Hitmonchan to generate a little bit more energy. That's been a theme this whole time, right? Is you gotta generate energy, like overcharge it. So because the Team Go Rocket side stands still after every switch, after every feint, after every charge attack, again, this Rhyperior is not gonna hit me immediately, right? You see that? So after 3 hits, then we use our charge attack. You notice that the rock, it did fly into the face of my Hitmonchan right there? He's immune, man, because the animation actually plays quicker than the damage hits you. So what that means is we can hit 3 times. So 1, 2, 3, and then we're gonna do another charge move. So boom, power up punch is gonna go off right here. Now we're gonna be out of energy, like where we really want to use ice punch, but again, we don't have enough energy quite yet. So we are gonna tank actually 1 hit from that rock. It's gonna hurt pretty bad, smackdown right here. So look at that, boom, it still did a lot. Hitmonchan does resist that. It's just because we're using Hitmonchan a little bit less beefy in general, but also because, once again, I'm purposefully nerfing my Pokemon to demonstrate to you guys, like, you could have a 2,000 something CP Hitmonchan and do this yourself much easier, right? You're gonna withstand much more punishment. You're gonna do a lot more damage. So all things considered, and right there, I actually probably should have used Ice Punch if I'm gonna be completely honest, but it's okay. This is, again, like, now we're doing the same exact fight as before for the most part. It's just that it's Hitmonchan instead of Stunfisk. I'll try for the Ice Punch. No, it's not gonna work. So I'm gonna need to go with a, I should have done Ice Punch from the very start. It would have just dealt more damage. I wanted the power-up punches so that I could get my last buff on it. You notice it's not buffing anymore, but there was 1 buff left. And so right here, look at how crazy Bisharp is, man. It's because we're going up against Zen Headbutt. Now, Bisharp will resist Dragon Breath, but the resistance right now to Zen Headbutt is just crazy because it's dark and it's steel type, and both of those are going to resist Psychic from Zen Headbutt. And so we're also dealing super effective, both with our fast attack, but also with our charge move right here of X Scissor. So this was very similar to the fight before, except for it's a little bit closer just with the Persian with Scratch. But like I said, again, like, we can win this. Look, we're gonna, like, I'm not gonna fully charge this because I'm really worried about KOing this thing. I don't want to use my radar, but here, there we go. Actually, okay, that was good. I might have gotten away with a fully charged, but it would be like, 1 hit till death. So I'm just gonna kind of let it punish me right here. But yeah, like you can see, I could do my charge move twice over already. It would be dead. And look, even my Hitmonchan can punch this thing. I could get a charge move off there and I'd win. Like, there's plenty of spots where I'd win right there. Just to prove my point, if you don't have any of these Pokemon, it's okay. Use the principles from my video for one, but also I have a full playlist of lots of other Giovanni videos with his Shadow Latios. So go ahead, click the end screen on screen to see some of those. And thanks for viewing.